When have you ever been single?
I shouldn't be anybody's girlfriend. I don't know if I'm a good person.
You'd made a couple of mistakes. There were things you couldn't come back from.
Sydney Sweeney started gaining fame through the HBO drama series Euphoria, where she plays the character Cassie Howard. Although she plays a teenager making questionable decisions, her real life hasn't been without challenges. She's faced career setbacks, near-death experiences, and controversy. Here are 10 things you didn't know about Sydney Sweeney. Number 10. Her childhood love of sports taught her discipline. Before she had any real prospects of becoming an actress, Sydney Sweeney lived an average life growing up in Idaho. She was incredibly close with her family, given that her lifestyle was far more rural than she'd later find in Hollywood. However, Sweeney's interests were always extracurricular, as she was heavily involved with sports. In an interview, she said, "I was in every sport possible. I was on the soccer, baseball team, and the snow slalom ski team, and I was wakeboarding." However, the latter of these athletic interests came relatively close to ruining Sweeney's life. Sweeney was only 11 years of age when she met a severe wakeboarding accident that disfigured her face and needed 19 stitches. Nevertheless, despite her fears, her mom was adamant that Sweeney not give up on wakeboarding, pushing her to return to the water shortly after recovering. Sweeney would later adopt this hard work ethic when she began pursuing acting as her profession. In her adult life, Sweeney pushes herself athletically, sharing her skiing, hiking, and rock climbing adventures on social media. Sweeney also hasn't let her gender prevent her from a challenge, telling Women's Health that after moving to Los Angeles, "I wanted to find something that was as physically challenging as everything back home," which led her to explore MMA training after taking cues from her male friends. Number 9. She had to argue her case for pursuing acting. Despite having dreams of becoming an actress, Sydney Sweeney had few opportunities to explore that interest in the parts of Washington and Idaho where she spent her youth. Nevertheless, she got lucky when an indie film showed up in Spokane to film, needing locals to play extras, which enticed the 12-year-old Sweeney. However, she had the unfortunate obstacle of her parents to get through. As she described the coverture, Sweeney had to take an unconventional approach to convincing her parents to let her audition. "I begged my parents to let me audition by putting together a 5-year business plan presentation," she explained. "My mom is a lawyer and my dad is in medicine, so school has always been critical. I've always known how to communicate with them that way." Luckily, the formal presentation worked, and Sweeney was allowed to audition, landing the role and making her film debut in ZMD Zombies of Mass Destruction. More roles began to accrue quickly for Sweeney between commercial and TV guest spots before the actress moved to Los Angeles with her family at 13. Eventually, she tested out of school and was able to continue pursuing acting with an on-set tutor, landing roles on Grey's Anatomy and 90210. Sydney Sweeney was raised in the countryside of Washington and Idaho before establishing herself in Hollywood. Although her chances were limited initially, she overcame that by persuading her parents to allow her to become an actress because she was exposed to the film industry early on. Her transition to Los Angeles and subsequent roles on popular TV shows highlight her relentless pursuit of her acting dreams. Number 8. Sydney Sweeney is friends with Halsey. Before Sydney Sweeney and Halsey became friends, they were big fans of each other's work. "I grew up a big Halsey fan in high school and went to her concerts," Sweeney said. "I loved all her music. She was a fan of me as well." After Sweeney told her team that she'd love to work with the singer, Halsey reached out and asked her to star in her Graveyard music video. "We met and hung out, and we became excellent friends. Now we hang out all the time," Sweeney explained to the outlet about their instant friendship. Now inseparable, the two continue to work on projects together, including HBO's upcoming series The Players Table, which Sweeney executively produced under her production company, 50/50 Films. Before Sydney Sweeney and Halsey became friends, they were big fans of each other's work. What do you think about their friendship? Let me know in the comments. Number 7. Her past working for Universal Studios was questioned. Life was challenging for Sydney Sweeney's family once they got to Los Angeles. As she described to The Hollywood Reporter, her family struggled to afford the LA lifestyle compared to the simpler life in Spokane, which eventually strained her parents' marriage. "I thought that if I made enough money, I'd be able to repurchase my parents' house and that I'd be able to put my parents back together. But when I turned 18, I only had $800 to my name." She had to make ends meet and fast. Sweeney tried to support her family by landing a job giving tours at the Universal Studios backlot. Although theme parks were a passion for her and her family, and she memorized the entire tour speech, she quit after only a month when she booked a role in Sharp Objects. However, when a clip of her discussing this went viral on TikTok, former employees of the Universal Studios backlot raised suspicions about her story, citing the rigorous audition process for hiring and the lack of evidence of her ever working there. As The Hollywood Reporter later confirmed, she was telling the truth, with her hiring date being June 12, 2016, and her exit date being July 18, 2016. Sharp Objects, Maya's dad for the record, began filming in early 2017. If you thought her past working for Universal Studios was surprising, brace yourself, because we're about to reveal how Euphoria helped Sydney Sweeney grow more confident. Could this be the turning point in her career? Number 6. Euphoria helped her grow more confident. Sydney Sweeney landed the biggest role of her career when she was cast as Cassie in HBO's drama series Euphoria. This show indeed has not left viewers indifferent to such scenes as the very first meeting of Cassie and her boyfriend named McKay, an actor who is Algie Smith, where the series' overt sexual motifs, as well as nudity, are depicted in detail. Since then, Sweeney's naked scenes during the show's performances brought controversy from the spectators. In an article for USA Today, Syracuse University's Robert Thompson said, "I can certainly understand why parents find this show alarming because it presents examples of people their children's age who are living lives that are dangerous, brutal, and sometimes extraordinarily unfulfilling." Sweeney has wittingly defended itself against these sentiments towards the show. In an interview, Sweeney said that she has never felt violated when shooting sex scenes for the Euphoria series because of the coordinator's assistance, and credited creator Sam Levinson for being receptive to her opinion regarding wanton nudity. Contrary to expectation, the full frontal nudity got an utterly opposite reaction, as Sweeney said, "I have weirdly become very confident with my body through Cassie." While she has participated in nudity in other projects, Sweeney admitted that nudity sometimes compromises her acting. Number 5. She attended college while filming The Handmaid's Tale. As for the actress who performs the role of Sweeney, is she a great actress and has desired and loved to go to school? Furthermore, she was attending college at the same time as filming for The Handmaid's Tale. Although she could attend class and film simultaneously, she did not get credit for one of her classes. "My professor goes, 'What are you doing here?'" Sweeney shared with Drew when she shared that she was at her teacher's house to take her final, and this reaction of the teacher, Sweeney said. Sweeney went on to argue, "All the kids were mad that I could be absent from school so often and still do so well. Although I was on the dean's list for 2 years every semester I was at the university, that professor never let me take the final exam and I never got credit for it." Number 4. Fans criticized her over family photos. Despite earning fame and success at 25, Sweeney has yet to leave her family or hometown behind. From the effortlessly cheesy Christmas videos to purchasing her grandmother's home, she does place her family relatively high on that list of priorities. But here, she gets to protect her family's presence on social media, and recent years have raised controversies. Most recently, in 2022, Sweeney posted stories on Instagram from her mother's hoedown-themed 60th birthday party. Soon, the online fans themselves questioned some of the photos, stating that one relative favored a Blue Lives Matter t-shirt supporting police's lives over black people's lives. In contrast, others wore what seemed to be red Make America Great Again hats. Sweeney protested against the anger on Twitter and urged people not to judge her and her family's politics by the pictures. Sweeney later dismissed most of those misunderstandings by stating that the MAGA hat said, "Make 60 great again." She went on to say that the people who brought items that angered others were her mom's friends from LA with kids marching in pride parades. They thought it would be funny as they were going to Idaho. If you thought fans criticizing her over family photos was surprising, brace yourself, because we're about to reveal how she dove deep into her role as reality winner. Could this be her most intense performance yet? Number 3. She dove deep into her role as reality winner. The outstanding Emmy-nominated work on Euphoria and The White Lotus would begin Sydney Sweeney's success stories in her Hollywood career. She was a reality winner in 2023 HBO's drama film Reality, which shows the story of a former National Security Agency translator who leaked government information about Russia's involvement in the manipulation of the 2016 presidential election, which earned her 5-year imprisonment in federal prison. Taken from a true story, and it is performed in real time. The main character of the film is a police interrogation of Tina Satter, who directed the film herself, and one of the producers of the film is the Absolute Reality, who acted as a consultant in the work on the film. In an HBO making of featurette, Satter recalled that Sweeney's interest in reality as an individual and their resemblance got her the role. It is paradoxical, but those brief meetings with Winner via Zoom were the most beneficial regarding Sweeney. In her interview with The Hollywood Reporter, he said they had continuous communication. He discussed the assault with her as well as many other things about her life, individuals she knew, her house, as well as pretty much everything he could understand about her as a person that could help him in portraying her character. One of Sweeney's practices with the character is to make a journal in which she writes the complete life history until the page where the character starts to play. Concerning reality, she supplemented this book of memories by interviewing the woman who appeared to have shocked Winner's real-life family after viewing the film. Number 2. Sydney Sweeney restores vintage cars for fun. Other than acting, Sydney Sweeney has occupied herself with a few activities that fans of her shows and movies probably didn't know about. This fame was apparent when, in late 2021, Sweeney began to attract attention to her work and herself by creating content such as videos of her reconstructing classic vehicles on her TikTok account. It was inspired by her dream car, a red Ford Bronco of 1969. She decided to refurbish it on her own instead of going to a mechanic. She told Teen Vogue, "It responded to people asking, 'What do you do for you?' This is my escape. I feel this is a relationship between the car and me and the parts." This hobby began in childhood. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar in 2022, Sweeney said, "My babysitters, twin sisters, when I was little, used to be race car drivers, and I'd go to the track a lot, and I thought I was going to be a race car driver when I grew up." Thus, cars have been in Sweeney's family for generations. Sweeney has also witnessed what she admires and explained how she changed the perception of women engaging in male-dominated hobbies by fixing cars and showcasing her work on her social media pages. Still, to this day, in September 2022, Sweeney has not stopped posting about her healing journey of old cars through her TikTok account, and the videos involved a 1967 Ford Bronco and a 1967 Ford Mustang. Number 1. Her role in Sharp Objects was meant to be smaller. 2018 was a breakout year for Sydney Sweeney, the year she got 3 major television roles. In Netflix's teen comedy Everything Sucks, she had a main character role, whereas in season 2 of The Handmaid's Tale, she was a recurring character with one of her appearances playing Alice, the teenage roommate of the main character portrayed by Amy Adams in HBO's miniseries Sharp Objects. Sydney Sweeney appeared 3 times on television in the year 2018. She had a permanent position in Netflix's teen comedy series called Everything Sucks, and she shot a recurrent role in the second part of The Handmaid's Tale show and a minor episode in an HBO miniseries Sharp Objects, where she portrayed the teenage roommate of the main character, the reporter, played by Amy Adams, who left a mental health care facility. Sydney Sweeney's journey has been filled with both highs and lows. From her early struggles to her breakout role on Euphoria, she continues to captivate audiences and overcome obstacles. Her story is an inspiring example of perseverance and passion in the entertainment industry.